A reading from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 11. Wisdom brought success to the people of Israel through a holy prophet. They travelled across a desert where no one lived and camped in places where no human being ever had been. They stood up to their enemies and fought them off. When your people grew thirsty, they called to you, Lord, and you gave them water flowing out of solid rock. The disasters that punished the Egyptians saved your people when they were in trouble. Because their enemies decreed that the babies of your people should be killed, you stirred up the source of their ever-flowing river and made it foul with blood. In the desert, you let your people go thirsty to give them a taste of how you had punished their enemies. And then, when they least expected it, you gave them plenty of water. When they were being tested, even though it was mercifully disciplined, they learned how wicked people were tortured when you judged them in anger. You tested your people as parents test their children, to warn them, but you judged their enemies like a stern king and condemned them. They suffered whether they were near your people or far, groaned as they looked back on what had happened. When they learned that their punishment had been of benefit to your people, they realized that it was your work. Lord, the Egyptians had refused to have anything to do with that man who long before as a baby had been thrown out and exposed, but as things worked out, they ended up being amazed at him. The righteous never suffer a thirst like others. Their wickedness misled them into silly ideas, so that they worshipped snakes and other disgusting creatures without any power of reason. Because of this, you punished them with millions of such animals, taught them that punishment for sin takes the same form as the sin itself. Your almighty power, Lord, created the world out of materials that had no form at all. You could easily have punished those people by sending an invasion of bears or savage lions. You could have created new terrible animals that could breathe fire or roar and send out clouds of smoke or shout out fearful sparks from their eyes. You could have made animals like those that could not have to attack those people to kill them, but could scare them to death just by looking at them. But this was not necessary. You could have pursued them with your justice and struck them dead at the slightest hint of your power. But you have chosen to measure, count, and weight everything you do. You can show your great power anytime you wish, and no one can stand up against it. In your sight, the whole world is a grain of sand, barely heavy enough to tip a pair of scales, a drop of dew on the ground in the morning. You are powerful enough to do anything, but you are merciful to everyone. You overlook our sins and give us time to repent. You love everything that exists. You do not despise anything that you have made. If you had not liked it, you would not have made it in the first place. How could anything last if you did not want it to? How could it endure if you had not created it? You had allowed it all to exist, O Lord, because it is yours and you love everything living. This is the word of the Lord.
സാക്ഷികളാ